Wow.
No, things so quick.
It's abrupt.
It's too quick. I gotta
It
fix
is.
that tomorrow. It's too quick. I haven't been on this side of it. It felt good when I edited it, but being here now, it's too quick. We gotta fix that. Anyway, hi.
All right. So, wow.
Yeah, boy. Yeah.
You know
Venus.
what I was asking Tim off the top, and if you freeze like he did, I'm just going to drop it. But what's your headline?
Well, we'll get to it. Here Comes Sunshine, but there's a reason for it. Once we'll talk about it when we get to it in the set. I'll save it for them. But how long was that one? Do you know? I felt like it was.
No, I was not very good with trying to do the set list online by
No,
myself.
I know, but it felt a little long. It felt extended. It was nice. Like I thought it was a cool. And then that whole
Yeah, it had good loving licks in it and a little rider build in it. So yeah, there was some
there was some fun. There was good, and I tell you, I even texted you at one point. That second set was just, I loved it. Like it was so right down my alley, man. Those first three songs, bangers. Sunshine, Begonias, Viola. Are you kidding me? Like, and the Spanish Jam was fantastic. Anyway, we were ahead of ourselves, set too, because you made me jump the gun here. But that was my headline. Yes.
Right. My headline was that Johnny Salami is in charge, and because Jeff was looking at him for clues all night, and the rest of the band just fell in line behind him. And screw you if you don't like John Mayer. He might be an asshole, but he's a good bearer of that torch that we keep passing around. So we open with
about being passed. Yes.
We open with Stranger. It's always a classic opener. It's still a little slower, but I think at this point I've come to accept that our Strangers are going to be a little slower when they open the show because they're easing themselves in. Good for them.
Yeah, and it's always just like especially it used to be a sign of things to come. It was one of those songs, like a Samson opener or something. It was one of those things that lets you know it was going to be a fun night.
Exactly.
It always led to good things.
It always did lead to good things. So then we got the Alabama, which is very welcome. I think that Mayer handles that one well. I know that he Go to Heaven was his first thing. So there's a set list for everyone. And Alabama's one there, obviously, the Sailor Saint, the Althea, which is his song. He owns that one. But yeah, I no complaints there.
No, and it's to your point where we know Stranger will be a little bit slower. It's nice that with Mayer leading Getaway, it gets into a little bit faster pace and a little bit gets going, which is nice.
All right, now is Getaway what you called it? Because I've always called it just Alabama. Did you drop the first word?
I would drop the first, yeah.
Yeah, fair enough. I think about that a lot when I write set lists. When I'm writing stuff out and tweeting it, is that what everyone else said?
I just always say that one because it's the one that's the word that's repeated, so it's the one that gets stuck in my head. The Alabama get away. So I always just go with get away. So
there you go. Yeah, that's fair enough. Ramble on. There is an extra little bit of jelly up in there. The instrumental, I mean, the jam part had something that you never got with the Dead. The Dead were very true to, I don't think a Ramble on Roads varied from 6 to 9 minutes tops through their whole career,
It was, useful and did its thing and utilitarian and, carried its load, like you said, never really got anywhere. So that was it's fun to see it get a little bit extra play, tickle in there. Yep.
Exactly. So then fantasy.
We get
into it. Now, Timothy's saying that they did the Hey Jews reprise. I didn't think they did it.
Yeah, they did. They did in there. They got it in there because that's what I was gonna say. Is it's really become kind of like the one of those.
Oh, it's there. I mean, it's always
mainstay songs. I don't want to say, it's kind of become something. Yeah, but to get it in kind of the middle of the set's always interesting too. In that second, because it's usually falls a little bit.
It's a second set out of space is where the Dead.
Yeah,
I mean, except for I was going to say the 78 ones. If you listen to the first couple fantasies, it was a Jerry tune. He handled most of the vocal, and there was the No Hey Jude, and then disappeared for a little while. When it reappeared, it had the thing. Thank you, Timothy. I must not have been paying that good attention. Anyway, the fantasy, they did the Jude reprise, and then we get into the real meat of
that
This set,
set with
Dark Star, the first verse. You
yeah,
didn't know at the time.
which was great. I mean, it's always it's always great to hear those first notes and go into it, and especially first set Dark Star, which you're probably not getting the complete one there, and it's going to be broken up. And
Now, do you know that? See, I was thinking that it was going to be Dark Star into something, and then instead of Casey Jones, they would have closed it out with the second verse. Is
with
where my
Dark Star
mind went.
there, yeah.
Yeah,
See, I just felt like there's too much meat on that bone for a first set to really take it somewhere to do what you want with it, unless you're going to cut out Cumberland and Casey Jones and just kind of have a Dark Star jam, maybe a Cumberland, then like you said, Dark Star to finish up, but make it like a 20-minute type
right,
song type issue. I didn't. As soon as they played it, I thought for sure this is going to be a second set finisher.
right.
So
Now, I put my favorite things. I've People are going back and forth on me whether they really played it or whether it was just something similar, but I'm gonna throw it in there because I heard it and I was like, I know that song.
and I see it's up on setlist.com or setlist FM or whatever earlier too. And I was looking at the set list just to see it, and they put it on there. So I was like, okay, I think officially it's on there. We'll wait and see if Matt tweets it out on on the official list, but I think it's in
Right,
there.
right.
Yeah.
And then I mean, maybe the crown jewel of the tour so far. This Cumberland was 1987, jacked up on cocaine speed, and they fucking nailed it. I
They
mean, it was
went. It was fun. It was
just
fun.
I was gonna say later about US Blues, but Cumberland holds too the sharing of the verses.
Mhm.
I mean, with US Blues, it was all a Jerry song, so that was split up different. But I really dig having the two voices go back and forth with Mayer and Bobby.
Yeah, I do too. I think I agree. And
Mm,
it gives it a little bit more it allows it to be a little bit quicker too, I think, because of
right.
that. So, and it needs to be, right? Like, I mean, that song is one of those bangers. So anyway, it's good to hear it
It's
come
Jay
through like
Lane, though. Jay he was like, fuck yeah, we're playing Cumberland. I've been
that.
waiting for this, and just flew off with that. It's
Yep.
a beautiful thing. Such a beautiful. And then Casey Jones, um, let me tell my Casey Jones Hunter. I was listening to this Hunter interview, and he said he walked into a radio station to do an interview with somebody back in the early 70s, and the guy pulled out Working Man's Dead, and the station manager had scratched Casey Jones with a nail because he refused to let them play a song that mentioned cocaine. And Hunter's response was, "That's what happens to my hits." So good for him.
Good.
I'm going to go for that. So how do you feel about that whole the set list being up all the time? You in the chat too, let us know. Is it up too long, or are
No,
you
it's nice
coming
to
in
see
for
it because
30
then
seconds?
you're always looking at it. You can just kind of bounce back and forth, and you're not going, wait, what? I mean, I have it up also over here, but it's nice to just see it up there. I think it helps. And to your point, though, I think coming out of Cumberland into Casey Jones was an appropriate move. If you look at
Mm-hmm.
that flow, that it's nice. It worked. It's a good closer of the set. It could have been a little bit, whereas the Cumberland, to your point, was sort of the peak. Casey Jones could have been that peak. You still miss,
Yeah.
like I said, those giant bass bomb drops from Phil back in the day, and like those big buildups from it that used to be. So it doesn't
Right.
quite pack that same punch like a lot of songs, but it's still fun and it was fun. And it was a little bit after Cumberland, not quite that exit, but it was still
Yeah.
there. It's still,
Right.
yeah.
Mayor owns it. Mayor loves it. I think he just has so much fun singing cocaine. Who doesn't
Always
have fun singing cocaine to 20,000 people?
screaming for it, loving
Right.
it.
So
Yeah.
with that, like, subscribe, follow us. There is a little thing with a dollar sign or something that Tim, I still have not wrapped my head around, but Tim says you can, give us a thank you. I know that we got something the other day. Jesus Christ. See, I didn't show up on time. Thank you to whoever sent us something the other day, though. That
Llama.
was no, Timothy.
Oh, right. Yeah.
Our man Timothy, who's fixing me on the set list. See,
That's
he's
right.
like, why do I even need to watch these guys? I know what's going on. So make sure you like,
Exactly.
subscribe. We needed to get a sponsor, so we got a sponsor, and it's a Doors branded thing called Morris Skins, right? And they are lizard skin condoms, and they wanted me to read the copy. So when your LA woman says "touch me," but you don't want to break on through, grab a Morriskin. So there we go. Make sure you find them online, buy a couple of them, and with
then
that,
use the word Hogan for that
yeah,
one. Get a
use
discount.
Hogan slogans too.
Get a 10% discount at checkout.
Get a 10% discount. So you're going to take us off with your Here Comes
Yeah,
Sunshine.
I really I know Matt knows the history obviously of the Dead doing this and whatever, and I think opening with that Sunshine was a really nice nod to the history of that song in the state of Arizona in 92, 12/6/92, I believe it was, Compton Terrace in the day. Like I was
Yep.
actually at that show. I went to the 12/2, the 12/3 McNichols shows in Denver. The 12/2 show got the killer China Rider with the Colorado Rain in McNichols Place. I mean, that was one of the best moments I've ever been at a show, hearing that. But after that show, we were like, fuck it, we got to drive to Arizona. We need more, like, we got to see,
Right.
why not, right? Like, we're freshman year of college, like,
Clock's
why not?
ticking, right?
Yeah, road trip, let's go. Drove to Arizona Friday, went to the Compton Terrace show Saturday, Sunday, and that Sunday show, they opened the show with Here
Yep.
Comes Sunshine, which
Was
was
that
the
the
first
bus
one.
now? Was that
What?
the first? That was the first one, right?
First one since 74, which was like 1,200 shows or whatever. So knowing, I think this was a nice little nod to that as the final tour, throwing that back to kind of that and opening second set with it. So I thought that was really kind of a cool thing. Really
And
cool.
Matt texted me before the show. It was 99 degrees on stage at Showtime. So
Wow, really?
yeah. So we glossed over the gold bond. Mayor made a gold bond joke, and I tell you what, I don't know if you remember this, T, but you were there when we went to Target before Dick's 2 years ago, right? And I bought gold bond, and someone was laughing at me. I was like, "You got to powder your balls, man." I was like, "It's 100 degrees out there. You just got to do it." And good for Mayor for looking
Good for
out for
Mayor.
everyone.
I mean, wow, that's some desert heat too. That's hot.
Oh
That
my
is
God,
hot. And
100
they're playing
degrees.
in
They were
May.
shorts. Everyone had shorts on.
That reminds me of when the original Dead played Vegas 90, when I was there 93, 94, 95, and it was like 104, 105, just
Yeah.
ridiculously hot. And that was in May, and this is in May. I mean, the first year 93 was May, or 95 was in May, whenever that was, and it was hot as hell. Like that's hot for May.
It's just ain't right. Oh, look who's here. Wadi Emeritus. Scoy.
Oh,
Hey,
isn't that
Scoy. How you
working?
doing? We feel blessed now. All right. So let's get into the meat of this, because this was just,
So
I don't
fun.
know.
I mean, that Sunshine Jam went places, which I just thought, I remember at one point thinking, like, are they still in that jam? Have we come out of that yet? And then they went into Scarlet. I was like, I guess not, because now we're going into Scarlet, which was just amazing. Fantastic. And then, like I said, I'm going to jump ahead, but Viola Lee is one of my all-time favorites. And I'll always throw back to that forum show where we got the Viola Lee Fest and blew my mind. But I mean, and then into the second frame of Dark Star, like what a banger
Right, yeah.
opener for
Yeah,
songs in that
the
set.
Scarlet, really nice. They're owning it. They're
Yeah.
owning everything now. As much as it seemed like a lot of it was very tribute before, they're just owning the Spacey section in Scarlet right before the ending was fantastic. And then, they were like, "Hey, Scarlet Fire, hey, we did that. Let's do something different." And they bust into a song that's 100 years old and sounds as fresh as anything that you'd hear from any other band.
Always does. Like that song just rips. It sounds great when you listen to it from 69. It sounds great when you listen to it in 23. Like it doesn't matter. It's awesome. I love it. It's so good. And then to hear it go into Dark Star is just like chef's kiss. Like
Right.
beautiful.
Right. And the Dark Star, there was a definite Spanish jam in there. We got verse 2. I tell you what, Mayer, it seems like if you listen back to 2015, 2016, there was some tentative. He didn't know how to become spacey. He didn't know how to get out there. Now these Dark Stars, it isn't Jerry. He owns the Dark Star as his own thing, whereas like an Estimated sounds very Jerry. He like sticks to the tradition with that. But with the Dark Star, it seems like it's open season, and I don't know.
It's great. Like it's And a classic going Dark Star Fire, like it was a perfect segue. I thought it was one of those great segues into it. And again, the bass coming in and Oteil owning Fire the way he does now, and like the way I just those
Right.
notes will always crush me. Those opening notes of it too. The bow, 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 bow. You're just, I mean, you're immediately just yes.
You're there, and
Yeah, you're there.
there's a new section in there, vamp, right before the final chorus that they get to, and we're finding a lot of that,
Yeah, I
throwing
was
a
gonna
little
say
bit
the
in there.
Telio, they played the usual non that they didn't play since '73 or whatever the original
Right.
version in the
You
Telio
know,
with the verse, which is all these little things, all these little
nods.
Easter eggy nuggets and things are just nods. They're
Mhm.
fantastic. It's just so
Right.
great.
You know what I really love is that they don't really have any input on the set list. They let Matt do it. They take the set list, and it's like they're given a map. And what can we do with this map? And I can you imagine? All right, what are we doing tonight? Oh, Scarlet Viola Lee, Dark Star, Fire on the Mountain. Okay, I mean, and in and of itself, that's a set. Back in the old days, if the Grateful Dead did that, you would have been like, yeah, they could eat beans and fart for the next half hour. And
Yeah. I mean, well, that's just it. The set list construction has been so fantastic and such great little nods. And again, little nods and Easter eggs in there too. Just like I said, the Sunshine Story tonight. Like, I mean, there's a reason it's there, and what and it's just it's fun. And then they play them phenomenal. So you're getting the best of both. Where you're getting these great set lists and the music being played
right,
the
exactly.
way it is. So
Right.
it's a win all around.
All right. Drums came out softer tonight. It was almost cold from Fire. And it was more, I feel like, what I call Apocalypse Now than the Big Rock Drum Show, because Jay immediately went from his kit back
Mhm.
to the Beast. They did that thing. Mickey got on the xylophone. Then Jay moved back to his kit after a few minutes. But I think for me, the biggest thing was Oteil's banjo bass was like section one, the Apocalypse Now part. And then there was these great percussive spaces, and then you had the Oteil Beast part where he walked back before they dropped into the beam.
I love the way the drums has evolved into that, with kind of having Oteil out there with them. Sometimes a third drummer comes, if someone's around to play,
Right.
or Oteil goes back there and plays on the drums with them, and and I think it's added another layer of texture to drums in this last kind of go around with it, and I think it's
Right.
fun and it's
Well,
cool.
I feel like drums really has always been discounted only because they did it every night. It was always an exceptional piece of music when they did it. It wasn't, it was never phoned in. Even
Yeah.
back in the 80s. It was something that Mickey loved. You can tell that's Mickey's thing. I mean, the beam part, I think he lives for that. He's like, this is my chance to play the
Hell yeah!
beam in
Are you
front of,
kidding me? Like,
you know,
yes, yes, lives and loves doing it. Yes, that is his moment.
right. My FOMO was kicked into high gear. So Mayor, again, he's a master of space. They were timid before, but he has become the sound of the space. I mean, in front you get Bobby with his chunka chunka, and then you get, but when Mayor comes in, he really owns it. He understands that as well as anybody ever did.
Yeah, and space will always be, space to me. Just my piss break and my like time to get not
Right.
freak out and keep myself together, and usually walk around or get something and get back to
I'm
my
gonna go
seat.
get a bottle of water.
Yeah, always. Oh, always. And then
There it is.
but then I always like hearing what the fun thing I always like about space is coming out of it, because it's almost like,
What
the
are they gonna
beginning of the
do,
show
right?
or the beginning of the second set where they're tinkering and you're like, "Oh, what's it gonna be? Is it gonna be a wheel? Are we gonna get another one? Like what are we going into?" And
And the best was when Jerry and Bobby fought, like wheel versus other one, and you're like, "Come on, Bobby, fucking throw it out on the table, man." Fuck. So
right. So tonight
Johnny
we get Miracle out of it, which
Johnny
again
Salami was feeling himself. He was loving that. He's like, "This is my kind of song." It was a beautiful thing to see.
it's just like pure 80s Bobby.
But
Like
is it problematic for you?
what, the song?
Yeah, the lyric to it is pretty demeaning.
Yeah. Yeah. I've just always laughed it off. I just always laugh it off as like one of the ridiculously
Right, over the
cheesy
top. I
80s.
mean, but you can't get rid of it because of the miracle part.
Right, exactly. And I just always picture Bobby in cut off jean shorts, cut way too short, and a pink polo shirt ripping this
Right.
song like just ridiculously. So
Or the pink, the Pepto guitar with the
and remember
Madonna.
the video, the music video for it too, like the ridiculousness of that thing, like it was just all insanity. Like that's just always what I think of for this song. So I don't know. It cracks me up. I just always take it very lighthearted. To me, it's almost like a Fish song of the Dead's. Like it's the closest thing I
Right.
feel like to a Fish song that the Dead do. So
There you go.
you know,
All right, then we got a Death Don't, and I feel like they're set a thematic unity between Viola and Death Don't because they're both so old. They might even both be written by Noah Lewis or whoever that guy from Cannon's Jug Stompers was.
yeah.
But you
Yeah.
know, Bobby is so believable with the lyric of Death Note that I don't even hear it as a Jerry tune anymore. It's
Yeah.
something that Bobby owns.
I think it's one of those that's become a different two different versions, right? Because you'll always hear Jerry's when you listen back and takes you to that place. But I think Bobby's now owning it in his way, and it's just such a great. The lyrics are so great. The story, it's one of those story songs. It's like the lyrics are so great. It's like in that vein that you just said, like a Black Peter too. Like I always kind of associate those kind of songs together.
Yeah,
Viola, Death Don't, Black Peter, those kind of songs. So
yep, we touched on US Blues earlier.
but it's a fun song coming out of Death Don't, right? Like you got to crank it back up. You got to bring the light back in. So it's a fun.
I got two questions for you.
Okay.
Was it a nod to the Kooks in Arizona doing US Blues? Because it's very tongue in cheek. Yeah. I mean, I think it was
the world.
Right. And my second thing is Chimente during the verse part is playing a Booker T tune, either Green Onions or something. He's totally playing the organ of some other song, and people think I'm crazy, but it's really happening.
I can hear it. Yeah, you get that because that song kind of has that beat of something else. Yeah, right. So I could see him, coming in with a little. Yeah, okay. I'll listen for that next time I hear it and see if I recognize him, or even listen back to this one and see if I hear it more. I didn't pick that up tonight, but I'll see.
There we go. Like, subscribe, comment if you're not here now, live commenting. And then we had Ripple. I want to say that I think that Ripple shouldn't be done, but I'm probably lucky because I was there in 88 when they did it at the Cap Center. But I don't mind, like, as I've said all during this show, I don't mind them revamping songs and I really enjoy some of it. The Mayor breakdown on Ripple, no. Let's put that away. If we're going to do Ripple, do a straight version of it and just knock it out.
Yeah. I agree. I completely agree. Devil's Advocate, again, I get it. They change it up a little. They make it their own. They bring it into their world and have turned it into something else. And I mean, it is what it's still Ripple. You're still, I mean, unlike the Broke Down the other night, like you still, it still carries its weight, right? Like it's still Broke Down. Ripple's not still Ripple, but it's a different feel of that. I agree with you. I'm just saying, it's still, it's that song you like to hear and end it with, and then you have that debate in your head of like, is this better than or is this okay because it's not how it used to be? But I like it. It's still, it's a good way to close the show. And this was a ripping show. So again, you look at that set list up and down. It's a pretty solid set list.
I realized that you were at the shows in LA, but dude, tonight was, I mean,
well, but that's what I complained about to begin with. Like your tour opening, you're never gonna get like.
I crapped out.
You get Arkansas, you get Sacramento. You don't get like mid tour. Come on.
Oh man, so that was number 3 of 29. We'll see you Friday night for number 4 of 29. Dallas. We'll be earlier, so maybe our 13 will become 26. Thanks,
Samson
guys.
Delilah opener.
Samson and Delilah opener. There we go. All right. Man, they make you click